All right, guys, so this is a follow-up review to this Eastar 20-inch bass drum kit picked up from Amazon. This is gonna have a little bit more playing in it than the initial review that I had. A couple of upgrades here and there just to optimize the sound of this kit, but not too much. I didn't really do too much to it. Okay, first thing I did was change the snare head and put in a little hoodie inside the bass drum up against the batter head. And I tuned up the toms as best as I possibly could, right? I just added a couple of cymbals as well, just to show a little contrast between the stock cymbals and the Steve Weiss cymbals that I mentioned in the other review. And I also added Zildjian paper thin crash over there, all right? So let's get to some little chat and then we'll get right to the playing. All right, let's do it. All right, let's try this out. So here we have the stock cymbals, the stock hi-hat, stock crash cymbal on the cymbal stands that it came with. I'm using the stock bass drum pedal. For the Steve Weiss hi-hats, this is the traditional cast pack. I'm using a pearl hi-hat stand, and this is a 20-inch Steve Weiss ride cymbal, and I have a 16-inch paper thin crash by Zildjian. All right, so let's get right to it. Let's see what happens. I'm going to start off using the stock cymbals, and then I'll make my way towards the other cymbals, and then I'm going to incorporate all of them. So the weakest part of this entire setup right here are these hi-hats, okay, the stock hi-hats. If you compare them, right, this hi-hat here, this is not like a high-end, these aren't Zildjian new beat hi-hats. I think they're close. They're definitely a step or two behind them, but definitely several steps above any other cymbal pack brand that you'll get that's even name branded. This is steps above those for sure, all right? But this is also miles above this. Now to show you a little bit, right? There's just a fullness and a volume that these cymbals have that these do not. Okay? Let's try this. Night and day difference, right? When it comes down to the crashes, right? Not too bad, not too bad. The thing I've found is that if you have high-end cymbals, they tend to elevate cymbals that are a little bit beneath it. In this case, it's still a huge difference, right? But with the frequencies flying around everywhere, it takes the edge off of this cymbal a little bit. Okay, so let me show you. Even though they're totally different, together, I don't know, there isn't too much of a contrast in a mix. So there's that, right? So this cymbal is definitely more usable than the hi-hat cymbal. All right, so if you are able to afford the Steve Weiss cymbal pack, right? You'll get hi-hats, a ride cymbal, 16-inch crash, and a 10-inch, 8-inch splash, along with a case. If you want to have an additional cymbal, this really won't, I mean, it's really not going to do any damage to your overall sound. It probably won't enhance it, but at least it'll still blend in with the mix. All right, and if you mix in a few zildjians along with all those, you know, I think you really wouldn't be able to tell a difference, right? So again, the main things to do here: tune the drums properly, right? Upgrade the heads if possible, then tune them properly. Get a decent set of cymbals, right? And the Steve Weiss ones are totally fine. I've gigged with them before and I'll continue to gig with them, right? You start off with that, you have yourself a really good kit, right? The higher end cymbals are gonna just elevate the quality of the drums. It's gonna make you feel good, you're gonna sound good, and it's just gonna, you know, push you to be even better. So if you're a younger player, I mean, that's huge, right? That's inspirational. And if you're a seasoned player, this thing is gonna be rock solid for you, all right? So who would use this kit, right? So if you're gonna tour, don't use this drum set. If you're gonna play your occasional weekend bar gig, yes, you could probably use this. Spill beer on it, you know, you won't feel so bad because they're not that expensive, but you know, would it ruin it? Maybe, right? It'll get beat up for sure, being tossed in and out of your trunk and stuff. Your hardware, the stock hardware will definitely get beat up in the hardware case, you know, rubbing up against all the other hardware in there. So that would be medium fun, right? Touring with it, not fun. Occasional rock show, a club or a bar, medium fun. For musical theater gigs, absolutely fun. All right, you set it up during tech week, it just stays in the theater, and you play your whatever many weekends, right? It'll be great. It'll be stationary, you're not moving it around, you're not kicking it around and stuff. Perfect for that. You could leave this in your studio if you're giving private instruction, right? This would be a great kit for you to use to instruct or to have a student play. It is really pretty, so if it's a young kid, I mean, that's something that could definitely inspire them, all right? So use it for that. Would you record with it? I probably would. You know, again, if you tune it right with the right heads, I mean, these toms are, I mean, you know, they're totally fine. They're totally fine. All right, you would probably want to use a different snare drum though. Okay, one thing I noticed with the snare drum, this Evans head is on there pretty tight already. I can't really get the pitch much higher. It could be the bottom head. The bottom heads of them are really close to ambassadors, but you know, I don't know the elasticity of them. I don't know the quality of the mylar, right? So I feel like the bottom head is cranked up on here already, but it's probably reached its max. So the next step is just breaking. So I would use a different snare drum head or replace the bottom head and see if that's going to make a difference. I tend to tune my snare drums to an A. This is way below that. Right? So it's not the most articulate snare drum. It'll work, right? You can have fun with it. You can hit it and it makes the snare sound, but is it like really high quality sound? No, it's not. All right. So if you're going to record this, get rid of the snare drum, use something different. All right. So anyway, that's what I have for this drum set. Absolutely worth a look. All right, see you guys next time.